Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
people who are 25Y and above, what's the harshest life lesson you've learned? No one is going to save you. You have to save yourself. And there's only so much effort you can put into other people before you have to start being a bit selfish and protect yourself. Just this year, I took care of my dad for years and he stole money from me. I helped my ex through a tough spot in her life at expense to my own mental health. She always told me how supportive she told her therapist and friends I was. Then broke up with me for not being emotionally supportive enough. I felt like I was being a jerk, but I felt underpaid and leveraged a counteroffer to my employer, and it actually worked and I got a large raise. This has not been a good year for me on my outlook on loyalty. Edit. Thanks for everyone's kindness and insight. Besides one iffy comment, everyone has been quite kind. It's good to know a lot of people have gone through similar things and still came out with optimism. Or at least having learned a lesson. Yes, this. And no matter how hard was your upbringing, you can't blame forever the cards you have been given. Only you are responsible for yourself. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Charles R. Swindoll, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. You can do everything right and still fail. Deleted. But you sound like a fiercely independent and strong person. What amazing things you have done! Exclamation mark. If your employer is doing something illegal or unethical and you decide to confront them about it, for fuck's sake, do it in a way that all communication will leave a paper trail. To piggyback this, keep emails and any other proof of fucking everything so you can always cover your ass. I remember needing to do this. I mailed a thing to District X when it should have gone to District YY. Because the guy in charge of their entire region said to. They were his people, so I assumed he knew what he was talking about. A secretary was very bothered I did this and went to everyone's boss to stir shit up. I had the email backing me up. Unless you're saying I can't take the guy you put in charge at his word, they had to get off my ass. Shit can go south in a literal heartbeat. Yup. Went to work today. For the second time ever at this job. Came home for lunch instead of eating at work or getting fast food. Get home. Find my mom, a stroke victim, covered in blood. She fell and hit her head. Just like that, the rest of my day was spent at the emergency room. Thank God she's alright, 7 staples later. But you literally have zero idea what you're walking into from one moment to the next. Fucking life, man. There's a guy who finally got extradited from Japan after a year and a half because he was in prison for passing out at the wheel from altitude sickness and killing a couple people. Something completely out of his control. Completely unpredictable and improbable. Being in a foreign prison. Not knowing if he'll be able to get back home to his family. From something that happened in a split second. Just insane. I knew a Brazilian guy who died from being jetted with water in Japanese prison. He was in solitary fur 3 months before, no futon. On floor. Just for running red light. Cause no one stops nighttime at red lights in São Paulo. Your friends from high school or college will disappear if you don't make the effort to stay in touch. People in general. I'm 38 and different parts in my life I had friends and family alive that are no longer alive. You feel almost lonely when people that have made up certain memories are no longer there for you to retell it. You also just have life slowly separate people from you. Then you go through changes where some people just took different paths and you don't even recognize who they are anymore. You also cherish those moments that you get that make you feel young and alive again, or having people come back into your life and you didn't realize how much you missed them. There are 3 types of friends. Friends for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. It's entirely normal to lose touch with certain people. And that doesn't make them any less special to you and your life, and vice versa. Sometimes people are in the end just meant to be part of cherished memories. You can't make someone love you by giving them more of what they already don't appreciate. Still chewing on this one. Saw somewhere recently that when you see someone's potential, it's really just seeing what you would do if you were them flushed. By the time you hit 30, all the small things you've gotten away with that everyone bugged you about starts catching up to you. Bad posture. Welcome back and neck pain. Smoking. Welcome a strong cough. Never stretch. Welcome tightness. Bad diet. Welcome various health issues. You always feel invincible when you're young. 30s where you realize you were wrong. I'm 33 and fuck you for reminding me of all the things I should have done. Get with it now, dude. Still plenty of time to fix things at 33. Don't be 40, 50, 60, 70 and regret wasting away the last decade because you thought it was too late. That life can take a loved one at any time, so cherish those you love. Make time for family and friends. And tell people you love them often. This is so true. My grandfather died the morning after the doctor agreed to discharge him from the ICU. I don't have a single picture with him. Never expressed how much I loved him. It seems. I had so much to tell him and ask him. His death taught me to value people and express my affections more. It's difficult but a necessity. You never know when people you love would not be there anymore. Your health can evaporate quickly. This is so important to understand. ! I have seen friends complaining about falling sick, and then ringing up from the hospital with chronic health issues. The Epstein-Barr virus did a number on me. Got it at 27 and now 5 years later I still have issues with chronic pain. Chronic runny nose. Weird fever-like symptoms almost daily. Fatigue and muscle weakness. It will most likely be lifelong issues as well, so that's fun. Expressionless viruses are no joke. Sometimes if you risk it to get the biscuit, you don't get the biscuit and actually you destroy your life. It looks like other people are blessed with motivation and self-discipline and make stuff happen. If you sit and around long enough, the angel of self-discipline will float to you and bless you with the desire to do healthy, productive stuff that will benefit you in the short, mid, long term. False. You have to get off your couch and do what you don't feel like doing right now. That's the lesson I had to learn. That last sentence was it for me. I was brought up pretty sheltered and spoiled, and I commonly used "I just don't feel like it" as an excuse and got away with it. Once I was an adult, I had to realize that if you don't do things whether you feel like it or not, barring actual sickness or disability, you'll be miserable. You certainly can't keep a job only going when you feel like it. Your house and your health will be in shambles if you only take care of them when you feel like it. You just have to do things that need to be done. Sometimes the problem is you. Some people never learn this lesson. You have to speak up for yourself. No one else will. And a lot of people will be mad when you do, because it's not benefiting them. Do it anyway. Do not lie to your significant other. Have hard conversations and trust them enough to be able to have them with you. Give them the chance and don't be afraid. Avoid doing it in fear of rejection or judgment. I learned that one the hard way, unfortunately. Can give this advice to all the RAITAH people writing about their communication is a tough thing. You can be a great communicator in many ways but have one aspect of it you're horrible at, and that can be devastating to a relationship. It could definitely be applied over there, lol. This is for the people pleasers like myself. You can bend over backwards for everyone. Be a doormat. Make it your life goal to avoid confrontation. And you're still going to end up being the supervillain in someone's story by the time you hit 30. You're writing your own story. Set your boundaries and realize no girl, guy, vice, or amount of money is worth compromising them. Checking all the boxes required to be successful does not mean you will actually be successful. Well said. Nearly everyone I personally know who is successful works their ass off. But there are also countless people who work their ass off and aren't close to successful. Hoping and wishing doesn't make things change. Making different decisions and working hard does. People don't really attract like-minded people. If you're a normal person, you think along the lines of the golden rule. But I'll tell you this. There's gonna be someone you consider to be a friend who's going to not only disappoint you, they're going to hurt you. And they're not even going to value your friendship enough that they care to rectify that. Hell, they might even enjoy it. At 25 plus, you really have to dig your heels into your values and stick with them. I'd tolerate a lot of nonsense behavior from my friends, but never something that hurts somebody else, especially another friend of mine. Never pictured myself genuinely telling a friend, "I'm disappointed in you," but that's growing up. I guess. Yes, but the converse is also true. There is also always going to be someone you misjudged who turned out to be a great ally. Just got to remember that life isn't predictable, and you just got to keep moving with it. Living life costs so much money. It's fucking ridiculous how much it costs to exist. Eating food is quite an expensive hobby. You can be really happy one moment, and then super sad in the next. It's important to appreciate each of these things for what they are. You won't be happy forever, you won't be sad forever. There will be people who just don't like you, who might even detest you. And you will never find out why. They might have even been people you considered friends just yesterday. I should have tried harder in college and worked with a goal in mind. Working with a goal in mind is a good one. I almost fell into working in design and I just did jobs I enjoyed without much thought about where it was going or how much money I was making. By the time I started at my third agency in my late 30s, I was done with it, and I've actually found it hard to move into the type of work I'd like to be in at the type of company I'd like to be at. I'm 35 and the harshest lesson I learned is that life sucks sometimes. You think you have everything figured out, but then something bad happens and throws your whole plan off track. It's important to be flexible and not take things for granted, cause shit can hit the fan real quick. Yo. Take care of your fucking teeth. Nobody told me that fillings eventually have to be replaced and you'll be paying for that cavity again in 10 years, and then again after another 10 years, and so on. Edit. This is not the harshest life lesson I've ever learned, but it is potentially the most expensive. An infection in your mouth can reach your brain. Another reason to take care. One important tool is an electric toothbrush. Follow with a gulp of hydrogen peroxide that I gargle and swish. First thing in the mornings. I use a tongue scraper. And your heart. Have seen a few young people need heart surgery to replace a valve damaged by bacteria which grew from poor dentition. There are some truly fucked up people that live and breathe to fuck over other people. It doesn't matter how much you think you know them. You don't know them. Absolutely. And this includes the love of your life and best friend. I've known so many women that insisted they were 100% positive that their man would never cheat on them. And many of them were 100% wrong. And before anybody flies at me, yes, I'm aware women can cheat too. However, in my life experience, it has been predominantly men that have done so. Never assume that you know what someone will or won't do. I see you've met my ex-husband. He was my soulmate, love of my life, too. Seems crazy now to have trusted someone so much. And if they do it once, they will probably do it again. I've learned that lesson.